The US Treasury Department on Wednesday imposed new Iran-related sanctions on individuals, several entities and tankers, hours after President Trump laid out his case for a possible attack in his State of the Union speech. The Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control sanctioned over 30 persons, entities and vessels, it said, enabled illicit Iranian petroleum sales and Iran's ballistic missile and advanced conventional weapons production. It targeted multiple networks that enable Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps to secure the precursor materials required for ballistic missile and other weapons production. The UN General Assembly voiced support for Ukraine on Tuesday when the 4th anniversary of the Ukraine-Russia conflict was observed. The US abstained from voting. The Assembly passed a resolution saying that it was committed to the sovereignty, independence, unity and territorial integrity of Ukraine within its internationally recognized borders. The resolution was passed by a tally of 107 countries in favor, 12 against and 51 abstentions from the 193-member Assembly. The resolution also called for an immediate and unconditional ceasefire and a comprehensive, just and lasting peace. And Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky said on Wednesday that Russian claims that Kyiv was trying to obtain nuclear weapons was an attempt to pressure Ukraine. In a press conference alongside Norway's Prime Minister Jonas Gahr Støre, President Zelensky said Ukraine unfortunately had no nuclear weapons and that the Russian claim came ahead of another anticipated trilateral meeting with representatives from Russia and the US at the beginning of March. Amid rising tensions and military signaling, Iran and the US are resuming crucial nuclear negotiations in Geneva. The US demands zero uranium enrichment, a condition Tehran rejects, even as President Trump insists that Iran will never acquire a nuclear weapon. With US naval deployments and Iranian drills near the Strait of Hormuz, the talks carry major implications for regional stability. DD India's Nishchoy Roy reports.
In a high-stakes diplomatic face-off, Iran and the United States are set to resume crucial nuclear negotiations in Geneva. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi left for Geneva on Wednesday to lead a third round of talks with the US. US envoys Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner will meet the Iranian delegation, with Washington demanding zero uranium enrichment and limits on Iran's missile program. US President Donald Trump, in his State of the Union address on Wednesday, once again declared that Iran will never be allowed to build a nuclear weapon, accusing Tehran of pursuing what he called sinister nuclear ambitions.
After Midnight Hammer, they were warned to make no future attempts to rebuild their weapons program, and in particular, nuclear weapons. Yet they continue. They're starting it all over. We wiped it out, and they want to start all over again. And are at this moment again pursuing their sinister ambitions. We are in negotiations with them. They want to make a deal, but we haven't heard those secret words. We will never have a nuclear weapon.
But diplomacy is unfolding under the shadow of military signaling. The US has expanded naval deployments in the region, its largest build-up since 2003, while Iran has conducted military drills near the strategic Strait of Hormuz. Iran's Gulf neighbors and Israel increasingly view the risk of conflict as rising. From an international relations perspective, this moment reflects a contest over deterrence credibility, regional influence, and the future architecture of non-proliferation. As negotiations resume in Geneva, the pressing question remains: can diplomacy outpace escalation? Nishchoy Roy, DD India.